Hey, what's going on, everybody? Welcome to Perspective as a Motherfucker. I am your host, Aaron Streater, with my co-host over here, James Patrick III, a.k.a. JP3.
Thank you.
We have a good show for you guys tonight. I have not only a real estate broker, but someone that was actually a former politician. So we're really going to be talking about, as far as with everything going on in the housing market currently, but also as far as the state of politics. So stay tuned. People always look at the finished product and they never look at how people started. Like the same thing for you, me, or anybody else. You just don't become the man.
Most people regret what they didn't do. I got so many things I've done, so many investments I've done. Bad investments, good investments, okay investments. And the only investments that I think about is the ones I didn't do.
So that person sitting on the fence, you like, get off the fence, it's time to move.
Nike, just do it. This is, look. What are you waiting on?
That was the best 20 minutes ever.
So without further ado, my guest for tonight is Darren Gardner.
How you doing?
I'm doing all right, brother. How about yourself?
I'm well.
It's been a little while, man.
Yeah, man, it's been some years.
Yeah.
For sure.
So what have you been up to?
Real estate, man. Just focus on growing the empire, man. That's been the focus.
Okay.
It's just elevate.
Of course. So as far as how long have you been in real estate for?
I started in 2015. That was when I started, and I said I started in 2015. That's when I bought my first home.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. Started 2015. Bought my first home that same year. In 2015, I bought my first investment property. Also, bought it with $6,000.
Wow.
Right,
Okay.
but I only had $5,000.
Wow.
But I bought it for $6,000.
So how does that work?
So all I had was $6,000. I bought it for $5,000. Right.
Yeah.
So what did I have to do? I had to call my mom or call my cousin, right, and ask for money, right? And what did they say?
Probably no.
No. No, I'm joking. I didn't call them. But the point is I needed to get the money from somewhere, right?
Yeah.
So needed to get the money from somewhere. What do? Okay. So I talked to the guy who owned the house. I said, well, what do you think about taking a mortgage out on the house for me? I'll pay you $1,000 in 12 months. No payments. No monthly payments. Just 12 months from the day, I'll pay you $1,000. What do you think about that? Because all I got is $5,000. So
Okay.
I ain't really got no matter that call, right?
Okay.
Sure.
Wow.
So, when it says you have not because you ask not.
Yeah.
Right. So I asked him. I had it. Boom, boom. 1 year later, gave him $1,000. Wow. And the rest is history. And from that one transaction, buying my first house, I made millions of dollars just off of that single decision of purchasing the home from the gentleman that sold me the home. That one single decision changed my whole life.
Now, with that purchase, was that something you knew from the get-go, from the time that you bought your house, your own personal home, that you wanted to get into real estate and investing?
I'm a Googler. Like, like some people say they Rico Suave. Some people say they're a genius. I say I'm a Googler. I got my own certification. I didn't go to, Seattle to get it. But when I tell you I'm a Googler, like I am a Googler. I'm very thorough when it comes to Google. And that's how I spent years just Googling real estate. And I had money I put aside. I said, I'm going to buy this house, buy that house. I keep looking online. Oh, I'm going to get this house. Let me get that house. I never did it. Just talking, right?
Yeah.
Finally, I bought my first home. And then once I bought my first home, I felt like, okay, now you ran out of excuses. You got no, Because I would always say that, oh, I'm not going to buy the house because I want the first time home buyers program, and I want to make sure that I get, the first time. All right. And when it was time for me to buy a house, you know how much the first time home buyers program gave me?
Not what you were thinking?
None.
Really?
Probably a little less you were hoping.
Well, and because I got a better understanding of what the first time home buyer program was.
Yep.
I was blind to the fact of what it really was. I just thought they were giving me some money. I thought it was free.
Not exactly.
I thought it was free. I thought it was free money. Here you go, Darren. Have a nice day. I love you.
Nice though.
But that wasn't the case. So what really happened was I was brought up to speed by my mortgage broker, who, was doing my loan. And he said, hey, Darren, so you realize what you're doing, right? You're able to get like a 3.2 interest rate, regular FHA loan, but, if I do this, it's going to jack up your rate to like a 4.6%, man. That's going to make your payment about $200 something more a month.
Jesus, that's thousands over the life of the loan.
I said, okay, 200 times 12 equals 36. 36 times 30, that's about over $100,000 difference, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So they're going to give me $10,000 to charge me over $100,000. Is it worth my time? Probably not. And then when I sell my home, I got to pay them the money back.
Yeah.
Right? So I opted out. So I waited all these years to do this first time home buyers program.
Yeah.
And never used it. Right? So that's why I tell people all the time, just go after what you want. Do whatever it takes. It was a lesson for me. Just do whatever it takes. If you got the means to do it, just do it.
Those lessons are very invaluable. There's a lot of people that are just not willing to do what's necessary sometimes. Like sometimes you're going to eat shit. Sometimes you're going to have to,
For sure.
you're going to have to move in a space of incomfortability for not a long time.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of people that they touch it for one, like, I don't like this.
Yeah.
And they're like, okay, let me go to where something's comfortable. Whereas if you're able to thrive in that, that's something that, that's a skill in itself.
Yeah.
So when we met over at a networking event probably about almost 2 years ago.
It was longer than that, man. This was way before COVID.
Yeah, it was. Man.
COVID's been 2 years.
Christ.
That's a good point. Yeah, one of
This
those
was
networking events 2 years ago.
This was me a year into the business because I was really moving and shaking 2019. So yeah, this was 2019. So about the 3. But when we met, you told me you were in the political realm.
Mm-hmm.
So, a little bit backstory before we go into that. Where are you from originally?
I'm from a little small country town called Lake Wells, Florida.
Okay.
That's where I'm from. I spent 18 years of my life there.
Okay.
And when I turned 18, I came to Jacksonville.
What brought you here, of all places?
At Waters.
Oh, AWC.
Absolutely.
Okay.
So I graduated from at Waters University.
HBCU.
Absolutely. Graduated there with a bachelor's degree in criminal justice.
Okay.
Did that. And I've been here ever since. Worked at Waters. At Waters served me well. I pledged a great fraternity there.
Which one?
Omega Psi Phi.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, you a Q.
I'm a Q.
Okay.
Yes, for sure. So So that's what I've done. I'm here. Done a lot since I've been here. Still doing a lot, and hope to live to do a lot more.
Okay. So with everything that you've accomplished, is your life what you envisioned all those years ago?
I'll tell you, man. Like with what I've accomplished now, it's always like more. Like I'm never satisfied.
Never stops.
I'm never satisfied. So like my life is cool, whatever. I have a good time. I take care of my responsibilities, right? I do my thing. But at the end of the day, am I satisfied? Am I comfortable with where I am? Hell no.
Okay.
Not even a little bit. Not even a little bit.
So does that mean that you want to grow the real estate empire much larger? Does that mean you want to branch out into other arenas as well in terms of business?
Absolutely. So when it comes to the real estate business, it's all in motion. It's all in motion. I mean, I'm a mortgage loan originator as well.
Oh.
So
So you get to eat off both sides.
Absolutely.
Makes
Why
sense.
would not?
Yeah.
All right. So that's the name of the game. Like, you never put yourself in a corner. You know, the corner is for kindergarten. I don't even think when you go into first grade, I don't even know if they put you in the corner in the first grade. I think the corner may stop in kindergarten. When they stopped putting me in the corner in elementary school, that's when I stopped being in the corner. No, never put me in the corner. And so you always, in any business that I do, I'm gonna always compound.
Okay.
There's a word I came up with. Oh, I don't even know if I want to say it, but
you ain't trademarking it yet? Okay,
yeah, I haven't, but maybe I need to do it after I record this. But it's called a compound real estate. Everybody talk about compound interest, compound real estate.
So how does that work?
How it works is you're a loan officer.
Check.
Yeah.
You're a realtor.
Yeah.
You're a broker.
Yeah.
You're the inspector.
Oh.
You're an appraiser. Right? No, this is.
Hold on, wait a minute.
Okay, I thought they have laws against that now.
No,
The
not
appraisal
on
part.
not on the same transaction.
Fair enough.
This
Okay.
is the thing.
Okay.
So no. You can't stronghold that one transaction and be every single person on that one transaction.
Yeah.
But you can be about 2 or 3 of them
Yeah.
on that one.
Yeah.
But my point is that now you got the certifications in place to where no matter, like, if you got appraisal needs, you got inspection
Money never
needs,
stops.
the money that you got
Goes in a circle.
all these things, and then that's when you hear the saying, "Chasing the bag, I'm gonna chase this bag," right? That's when the bag start to chase you.
There we go.
And that's what you want. You don't want to chase the bag. Chasing the bag, that shit's tired.
Yeah.
I've done it.
I'm doing it now.
I've done it.
Yeah. It gets tiring.
I've done it. I just want to just sit right here and let the bag come to me. That's just where, you know, and you got to. So at some point, it's nothing wrong with chasing the bag, bro. Don't get me wrong. I don't regret it, but it's all about growth.
Mm-hmm.
Like, when you get to that point where you say, okay, I done chased the bag long enough. All right, now it's time for me to chase me. You know when it's time. Your time ain't my time. My time ain't your time. Your time. You understand? But there's a point in time in life where you're going to have to tell yourself, it's time for me to let the bag chase me. And that's what we have to do.
You got to know when to say when. There's a lot of people that just don't know that.
And you got to start working smarter and not just harder.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Absolutely. And you got to know that you don't have to make all the money.
You got to make some.
Yeah. And you just got to, and you don't have to have all the customers. Mm-hmm. You got this one, if you got 10 customers and you want to make money off of them one way, shame on you. Right? You need to figure out what your customers need. And be whatever they need. Yeah. Because they're already comfortable with you.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah. So they want to deal with somebody who they're comfortable anyway. So my thing is, if you're my customer, I'm going to find as many ways to serve you as possible. Yeah. Why? Because if you need somebody to do something, you know what you're going to do? You're going to ask me.
You're going to call somebody that you trust and give recommendations.
Yeah, they're going to ask me or somebody else that they know who they trust and believe in, like me, and they're going to say, who do I need to call for such and such? And then, you know what? I'm going to say, me.
Yeah.
That's what I tell. That's what I tell my customers. You know, say, oh, do you know somebody who can build a house? Me. But do you know somebody who can do a roof for me? Oh, let me see if I got that number. Hold on, it's me. Right? Do you know somebody who can do my refinance? Oh, hold on, let me call this guy.
Yeah.
Oh, me? Right? You know somebody who can sell my mom's house in Georgia? Oh, Me. So you wanna, that opens yourself up versus saying, "Oh, let me call my buddy Darren." Don't get me wrong. I mean, I love for you to call me, but I'm saying this self-preservation, first law of nature, right? And sometimes you're gonna have to call me anyway, just because certain things, just whatever, right? Yeah. But I tell people all the time, you figure out a way to stronghold whatever industry you're in. Yeah. It's not just about real estate. Yeah. It's about any industry that you're in. You stronghold that industry. You know, you do credit repair. Yeah. You got life insurance. Yeah. You know, you got all these different components that come. You got like people who doing credit. They obviously concerned about their financial wealth, stuff like that. Like, what are they doing? You know, just gotta, every industry have their things that you can do to truly compound your income, right? Mm-hmm. Yeah. And that's what I've done with real estate. I'm steady. I'm steady.
And being that you've employed that strategy as a percentage of your business, right? Because you mentioned if you got 10 clients and you're only serving them one way, right? You can either figure out other ways to serve them, or you have to go find another 10 clients. And it's going to be a lot harder finding another 10 people to build that level of trust.
And then let's just be frank. It's tiring.
It is.
Mm-hmm. Acquisition is the most labor and cost intensive part of the business.
Listen, you can take one customer and make $30,000 off of them, or you can have 6 customers and make $30,000 off of them.
Well, which one gonna be more work?
Which one would you rather do? Right.
The one.
And let's just say on the one customer you make $30,000, but let's just say on the 6 customers you might make 40. I would rather make $30,000 off of one customer. Yeah. Then make $40,000 off of 6. Yeah. That's me. That's my person.
You got to deal with more people.
Time. Listen, I'm able to enjoy my time, my life. And yeah, I made $10,000 less, but hey, at the end of the day, you know how much stress I got to say without the other 5 transactions.
Quality of life is key.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And there's a lot of people that don't understand that. As far as they see people making not only money, but money at a high level. Mm-hmm. And there's a lot of people that aspire to that. Mm-hmm. And they look at it where it's this unimaginable, like, mountain. Yeah. Where people always look at the finished product and they never look at how people started. Like, the same thing for you, me, or anybody else. Right. You just don't become the man.
No, you don't. And everybody think he just gonna wake up and just be the man. That's just go back to sleep. Right? Go back to sleep and see if that worked. Yeah. But it ain't worked for me. So that to sleep, I would have just went to sleep and woke up and that ain't where it work. You gotta put in work, man. Yeah. So people all the time they say, "Man, I wanna be like you, man." I say, "Well, do you wanna go sleep inside your car while you rehabbing the house? Right? And the house so creepy that you scared to sleep in it, so you would rather sleep in your car. Do you wanna do that?" Oh, well, you know what? I'm going to let you have that, right? I'm going to let you know, I salute you. You can have that because I don't necessarily, but that's what I did. That's my real life story. That's like what happened. That's like real life.
And then you have so many people that once they see what actually you do, like when you eliminate all the bullshit and all the no, this is what I did. Mm-hmm. Are you willing to do this? Nah.
Exactly.
Then you really don't want it.
Exactly.
And that's fine.
Exactly.
Just don't say you want something and then you're complaining where someone didn't put you in position, things like that. It's like no.
Right.
Even if I put you in position, are you gonna pull the trigger? Are you gonna make the play? Are you gonna do what's required?
Right.
Like for you, as far as you have a little bit of political experience. So, as far as with your numerous success, I mean, I even had a stint in politics. Like, what got you into the political sphere?
I would say what really got me in politics was I've always wanted control. Okay. Right? I wanted control to be able to make the moves that I wanted to make, right?
Yeah.
So I looked at politics as a vessel in order for me to do that. Right. I was working at Edward Waters University, right? And we were getting like slaughtered when it comes to like funding from like the state.
Really?
And they was just kind of like a lot of the funds of the programs and stuff that we were, doing. The funds were like being depleted, lack of resources and stuff like that. It was just a continuous amount of like lack of resources.
So it wasn't
that
a
we
lot
had to deal with.
It wasn't a lot of alumni, donations and things like that kind of compensated.
Nah, and HBCUs typically you're not gonna have a whole lot of alumni stuff. But this was more so. These was grant funded things though. Specifically, what I was dealing with. I didn't deal with alumni. Period. But I'm just saying, just from a historical perspective, that's something that is a challenge to HBCUs. But I will tell you, in the past years at Edward Waters, the alumni have done some amazing things. Okay. But just across the board, HBCUs, that's something that
of course,
But I was just saying it to say I was trying to put myself in the position to be able to increase the funding with the programs that we had underneath our umbrella, and just be more involved in the decision making when it comes to what funds are being allotted and represent Jacksonville. Essentially, it was just me trying to put myself in a position of script.
So once you started to really get into politics, what was your initial impression as far as moving through that realm?
Oh man, it was quite interesting. Moving through politics, it's just a lot of. It's not authentic, right?
Okay.
It's an industry that's really not geared towards authentic people.
Okay.
Right? So like when you're really authentic, you don't really have a good place in politics. You gotta kind of sell it. You gotta be one of those people where you ever heard the saying, sell water to a well.
Yep.
Yeah. You gotta be one of those type of people if you really want a real career in politics. In most cases, I mean, there are some people that are not like that, but you gotta, for the most part.
Is it difficult to? Because I thought about at one point in my life, as far as politics, because I'm at the stage in my life where I'm too old to be lying. And if you're going to ask me an honest question, I'm going to give you an honest answer. And
you might be neighborhood watch captain with that mentality.
That
to go too much higher.
Yeah, you're not going to go nowhere in politics
fair
with that attitude. No, I mean, unless you got, and this is the reason why I stopped, because I realized that the only way that I can get up there and do my politics and be myself, like who I truly am, I got to be able to fund my own campaign. Because quite frankly, half of the stuff that I'm going to want to do and want to say is not going to be that guy doggone popular. Right?
Yeah.
And so I'm seeing all this unpopular stuff. Well, who you think going to put their money behind me? Nobody.
Yep.
Right?
Yeah.
So who's going to have to put the money behind me? Me.
Yeah.
Right? So I told myself that I'll never run for politics again unless I can fund my own campaign. And then I'll say what I want to say.
And be beholden to no one.
And that's going to be that. So if you want to be in politics and you don't have a lot of money, you want to be a puppet.
Yeah.
So you want to be a yes man, or you can lie to them and you can tell them that you're going to say something and then or do something and you're not going and don't do it. So you're going to be a liar or a puppet.
Yeah.
Or you may be a little bit of both. But you can pick whatever you want to be. Is on you. But that's just the way the stuff works in politics, as far as my point of view is concerned.
Okay, so I would say, because I say we're fairly all from different backgrounds, and as far as I've never been in politics. I don't believe you've ever been in politics.
No, for all of the reasons that Darren has expressed, that's exactly why.
Yeah,
I already knew I would be a short career in politics.
But
mine was short-lived as well.
So, but what I'm getting at is that we've in certain parts of our life we've had to move in like professional spaces, almost to a similar degree. So, not only the political space, but also the professional space, especially as far as you being in real estate and you being in politics at a good enough level as far as being, I'm not going to say African American. We black over here. We black, y'all. So as far as moving in that space, because there's a lot of, we know of code switching and things like that to where, everybody has a telephone voice or things like that.
Oh, I got a light switch. I call it a light switch. So I snap it on and off, and it's purely authentic. It's not even. I don't even know I do it. I don't even know I do it, but I definitely have a light switch. But I think everybody has a light switch, though.
To a degree.
No, every race
has a light switch.
Has a. It's just not the same light switch. It's just like you got a decorative light switch versus, I'm sure,
industrial.
Any of your friends, they get around one group of people, they're going to talk a certain way, right? They may not be black. You get around one group of people, they're going to talk one way. Around another group of people, everybody has a light switch. Yeah. It's just that it's noticed so much in the African American community because being quote unquote proper is looked down on.
It's a negative connotation.
Yeah. And so that's really all it is that it's in that community. It's just more so.
Yeah. I feel like also as far as just having to navigate through the world sometimes or through society to where not that you don't want to present the real you, but at the same time, certain things need to be good done. You need to pay the bills. You need to do what you need to do. You don't want to betray yourself, but also it's one of those things where earlier in my life was one of those things where I'm like, all right, where people seem like, hey, like, you're this like that. Right. And then like you might have been out with a coworker and things like that, and then they see you turn up, and they're like, "Oh, who's this?"
Yeah, exactly.
It's a fine line to walk. Yeah. Like how to be authentic, without necessarily not conveying the image or conveying the message that you're trying to get across.
Absolutely. And you ever heard the sound? Fake it till you make it, and that's what a lot of people do. They fake it till they make it. So, for me, I mean, it's like I dress however I want to dress. I do whatever I want to do. You know what I mean? But you can't always just do that. That's just, everybody can't do that. I didn't always do that. I had to dress based on whatever event I was going to or whatever I was doing. Of course. Right? Or whatever image I wanted to portray. Of course. You have to know when you're in a position of strength. Yeah. And you got to know when you're in a position of weakness. And you need to act accordingly.
Exactly. There's I was giving my buddy, I've known him for like 20 years, since we were 10. And as far as like even in the real estate like investment space where let's gonna say you bought like a condo or you bought a loft or something like that, and your buddy that might be a lighter complexion than you might be in a tracksuit and you're in a let's gonna say a suit, whatever the case may be. And sometimes it's just not that way, but sometimes you feel a certain way to where the suit is almost armor, if you will, where it conveys where if you were in that same tracksuit, are they going to believe you're a real estate investor?
Yeah, and and I think you're right. No, I think you're right as far as that's how people feel in some instances. Yeah. But you got to get to the point where you don't really care what people think.
Exactly.
And when you get to that point, that's when you're really successful, because people are only going to do to you what you're allowed to do. Yeah. And what you really and what it boils down to is that you got to make people need you, not you need them. So my whole purpose in life, as far as like setting up my stage, was to make people need me and me not need them. That's intentional. Like, I'm very intentional about how I set my stage. And I set my stage up to where people need me, I don't need them. Okay. Right? And when I say people, you may not need me, you may not need me, but somebody's going to need me. You understand what I'm saying? So it's not about you needing me, but people will need me. And you have to put yourself in a position of strength. It's always about the position of strength. If you're not in a position of strength, you're easy to be written off. People don't deal with me because I'm the nicest person in the world. People don't deal with me because I'm the prettiest person in the world. People deal with me because they need people like me. You ever heard that thing? Yeah. You need people like me.
You need people like me.
You need people like me. Yeah. Right? That's why people deal with me. They deal with me because you need people like me. So everybody can point a finger. Yeah. And they say, I'm the bad guy. Yeah. So, but it's true.
But it was a process.
Yeah. Yeah. It ain't start overnight. And that's the thing. When you are doing something, never give up. Because the moment you give up, I can literally tell you so many instances when I was about to give up, and then that moment I didn't, I look up, and I'm talking about it can be seconds, minutes, hours, days, weeks, months, depending on that particular situation, but everything catapult.
And be like that.
So whenever you're about to give up, you know not to give up.
It's right around the corner.
Obviously something that you about to miss out on. Yeah. Really, really big. And I know so many people that gave up, and it was way smarter than me. It was prettier than me too. Yeah. Right?
But they have a word counting most.
But they just gave up. They gave up. They gave up.
Sounds like that book, was it 3 Feet from Gold?
Yeah.
You know, somebody's minding that mind, and they just know they're going to hit gold. And they don't hit it, they quit. Next person comes along, tick, tick, tick. Boom, there it is.
Right. Come on, man.
What would you say in your experience is the biggest differentiator between those people who say they're going to do it, who try to do it, put in a good effort, and then quit, versus those people who get in there and then they stay the course and they actually achieve that success that they're looking for? If you could boil it down to one factor, one attribute, one characteristic, what would you say is probably the thing that predicts that most?
Perseverance. I mean, you have to have that skill set in business, especially in entrepreneurship.
Yes.
I mean, if you want to go work for somebody, you ain't necessarily got to persevere. You can just
you have to be able to
put an application.
And follow instructions.
Right. Follow instructions. But if you want to grow and you want to just be this person that people look at and they look at you as a profound individual, right? You're going to have to be willing to persevere. You're going to have to be willing to overcome obstacles. And if you don't want any obstacles, go back to sleep.
Yeah.
Go back to sleep.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. There's so many people that I know, like, when like it gets so hard, all they want to do is put their hands up, and I'm like,
when it get hard, you know what I do?
Go hard.
What you think I do when it get hard?
You dig deep.
I laugh.
I laugh. You would do something like that.
I laugh. And you say, what's funny? Ain't that funny? Ain't about nothing being funny. I laugh. Because you know why? Because at the end of the day, I'm the same way when I get something good happen, I'm smiling. Something bad happen, I'm smiling. I had days where I lost $60,000, $70,000, real estate transactions, this and that, and I just laughed. It was a point in time where it would bother me.
Yeah.
you know? But you have to get your self-control. And you have to know that you don't control nothing but you. That's the only goddamn thing you control. You don't control no woman. You don't control no kids. You don't control no customers. You don't control nothing. All you control is you. Yeah. And you don't even control that 100%. Yeah. But it's about the closest percentage of thing that you can control. So knowing that you want to control you, that's all you need to worry about.
That's actually a great transition into this current market in which we find ourselves.
For sure.
Because that is something else, ain't it?
Yeah, it's crazy. It's crazy. I'll tell you, people look at us as I'm a mortgage loan originator, and actually we're working on opening up a mortgage company as well. So, nice. But people look at us as if we're making more money because the interest rates are high. We're not making no money. No, we hurt. Like we hurt that the interest rates are low. Higher. Just like
so. Most motherfuckers can't qualify. If you guys can't qualify, I can't get paid. That's what people not understanding.
And but people look at it when you're on the other side as if you happy or no. Yeah. Your approval went from 300,000 to 200,000 because the interest rates went up. Yeah. You think I'm happy about that?
No. It's harder for you to buy a house, and I'm gonna get paid less when you do.
And I get paid less. My percentage is based on how high you approve it, not how low it is. Yeah. Right? I don't get paid more because it's less. I get paid more because it's more.
Exactly.
You know? So it's one of those things.
So have you seen any kind of slowdown? Because I know interest rates have gone up a lot, like just in the last 3-4 months.
This market has not slowed down, dude.
But still, it's still crazy.
This market has not slowed down. Even if it slows down, it can afford to slow down. It can afford to slow down. Like this market can afford to slow down and still be fast.
Yeah. Like you doing 100, you hit the brakes, you still speed.
Like right. You're doing like 160. You can afford to do 100. So this market is doing 160. Right now, it's doing the dash. They can afford to do 195. Who cares? You still over the speed limit. Like,
by a good amount. You still go to jail tonight.
Yeah. you 40 miles over the speed limit, bro.
Yeah. So, in this current market, who is not only taking advantage of it, but like who in this current market is it the best for right now?
It's the best. It's the best for, I would say, risk takers.
Okay.
People who just feels as if they're gonna make the best of it, and they're not gonna complain about how high the interest rates are. They're not gonna complain about because there's so many different things. There's so many programs that are out now in the market where you can build up a real estate portfolio with very little to no money, and some people are so caught up on how the interest rates are that it's going over their head, and they don't even know these things are around.
Okay, so let's go into that because as far as like, especially in the real estate investment space, there's so many ways to skin a cat. But if you were like just picking up your first property in this current market, what would you recommend to any real estate investors just starting out?
Call Darren.
Okay. All right. I
like it. Contact information will be in the comments.
Absolutely. And I'll tell you though, seriously. I mean, we have products where they will finance 100% of the acquisition costs, up to 100% of acquisition costs, and 75% of rehab costs.
Wow.
So.
Is that the 403k or is that a different program?
No, it's just straight investment. It's a straight investment loan, 12 to 18 month type payback thing. Okay. And we rock and roll it. You can get up to like 4 properties.
Wow.
But this is for investors.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
This isn't for you to live in with your girl and kiss her goodnight.
Okay. This is something strictly for cash flow.
This is for flippers.
That's for flippers.
Yeah. This is for flippers. Now there are some cash flows also, but what I'm referring to now is for flippers. Okay. People who want to flip a house. What I'm referring to now is for flippers.
Okay. Got it. Now, what advice would you give to somebody who's trying to purchase their first home in this current market?
So you want to purchase your first home in this market? It's a lot of great programs. A lot of down payment assistance, typically city programs are the best. The lender programs really suck for the most part, right? But I would say, just if you want to purchase your first home, just purchase it. Like, just do it, because right now, this market is so far out of control. If you let it get any further out of control, you won't be able to afford it. I don't know what the future holds for this market, but what I do know is that if you don't buy nothing, you don't have nothing, right?
That's true.
And so if rent prices continue to go up the way they are, right, you are going to be really house poor, right? And you're going to be forced out of Jacksonville. You're going to be forced to move to Brunswick. Or not even really Brunswick, because Brunswick's high now. You're going to have to go somewhere, maybe Cordell.
Nice this time of year.
You're going to have to go to Cordell or something.
Or Yulee. Oh, yeah?
Yeah, no, Yulee is high. You can't even go to Yulee. You got to go further than that.
Yeah.
Yeah. So believe me, listen, this market where it's taking us right now, it's do or die. It's do or die.
So that person sitting on the fence, you like, get off the fence. It's time to move.
Nike, just do it. This is look. What are you waiting on? Wait for interest rate to go down. You know what happened if interest rates go down?
Property value goes down.
But do you know what happened? Not necessarily.
I mean, do you know if we go from this market to interest rates going down,
if interest rates go down, then that means you get a refinance.
Yeah.
Right? That's what that means. So it doesn't matter that interest rates are up, right? All that matters is can you afford it? Yes or no. Check the box, right? Check whichever box. If you can afford it, get it. If you can't, sit on the couch.
But the couch, if you're renting it, it's going to be more expensive than a mortgage anyway.
It will. But these are the things that you have to make clear, concise decisions. You want it or you don't. Get in or get out, And that's just the name of the game right now. But I would highly recommend anybody who wants to be a first-time home buyer to buy. You know why? Because you can't lose. You own a piece of real estate. So even if you bought it on the upswing, you don't know if it's going to continue to go up. Because you look at property value in Miami, California, we got a long way to go, buddy, to catch up with those. A long way. So don't get caught up into what. Huh?
I don't know if we want to be in that.
It doesn't matter what you want.
Yeah.
What you want don't mean nothing. It matters what's going to happen. Yeah. And we don't know. If we get to Miami, you got houses over in Miami Gardens, near Polka Bean Projects, all kind of places. Those houses, $400,000, $500,000, $600,000. Yep. Right? That's the same type of neighborhood as you could, in comparison, Moncrief and stuff like that. Now you can get a house $100,000 to $200,000 in those neighborhoods. If the things continue to project the way they are now, continue to increase the way they are now, dude, I mean, you're talking about this same Jacksonville community getting to those levels as far as home prices. And you're sitting on the sideline talking about how houses are. They're really not that high. Truthfully, they're really low in comparison to if you look around the country and big cities. They're really low. You get in now or you can cry later. Just like people waiting on home prices go down 4 years ago. Right? And you see what happened? You either can afford it or you can't. So if you can afford it, buy a house. If you can't, don't buy. It's just that simple. Get you a piece of real estate, because if you got you a piece of real estate, you won't have no regrets. Most people regret what they didn't do. Yep. First, I got so many things I've done, so many investments I've done. Bad investments, good investments, okay investments. And the only investments that I think about is the ones I didn't do. Yeah. I never think about the bad investment. I never think about the good ones.
You did them.
I did it. I never think about the okay one, right? What I really think about is, dang, why I didn't get that condo up in that man? Dang, why didn't I keep that one? Those are the things that you think about. It's really more so what you don't do That's what people really, truly regret, what they don't do. So if you're sitting at the table right now, you're on the fence, you need to just do it. Because if you don't, I can guarantee you will regret it.
Okay, so with this housing market, of course, as crazy as it is, how does this also pertain to the Black community?
When it comes to the Black community, they should be so excited because, I mean, you got so many people that look like you, that actually know their shit, that can help you. I mean, shit. I mean, so many people. That about me. It's just so many people that are knowledgeable, that are literally giving out free information. If you're Black and you don't own a house, I hope it's just because you don't want to, but don't say because the man, because it's not. It's because either you choose not to or you don't.
I thought about something.
Mm-hmm.
So I didn't realize anything. I'm 30. I'm not sure. How old are you?
35.
Okay. All right.
Damn,
So
36.
okay. So I didn't realize anything about income tax till I was like 18.
Mm-hmm.
And then, of course, like when you're growing up, you don't know anything about income tax. You kind of like, all right, well, around this time of the year, we start getting new shit, whatever the case may be, new stuff, right? And I didn't realize when you have a kid from the time they're born to about 18, you're getting income tax money. Absolutely. You're getting on the low end $35,000 if you have
$3,500.
Sorry. $3,500.
Right. Please don't think about that program.
No, $3,500. And then up until, like, if you have 3 or more, about, like, $10K, right?
Right.
So you're getting that money at least for 15 to 18 years.
Mm-hmm.
So, in essence, you're getting 6 figures. And what I realized is the Black community as a whole, just the knowledge is out there, but a lot of people aren't making waves to there where you could have, a couple of people get together, buy duplexes, buy this, buy that, where a lot of the money is in depreciating assets, cars, trips, things like that, to where 6 months go by September, even sometimes by May, June, it's gone.
Right.
So
that's the difference between, like, people who are, like, just goal oriented. Like me, like, I never bought designer anything until maybe a year ago.
No.
But I've made millions of dollars. And even half of the designer stuff I didn't never bought it. My wife bought almost every piece, maybe 2. Right? Okay. So I don't. But these are the things. Like these habits and stuff. Like we all have habits, right? Of course. But I'm just saying, these are the things where I sacrifice. Like I'll spend $60,000 in a week on a house, right? Mm-hmm. But when it comes to just going to freaking the store and buy something, it's hard for me to spend $600. Seriously. But that's kind of, and then my wife, she got to kind of talk to me a little bit and be like, you need to do something for yourself. And then eventually I'll probably do it, whatever. But I'm saying all that to say, you got to be willing to sacrifice. If you want more, if you don't want to be in the rat race, so to speak, you got to sacrifice. Put some up. And you don't have to put it in the bank. Okay. You can invest it. Put it in a house. I look at houses like banks. Okay. I can walk in, fix it up, put it on the market, cash out.
Don't necessarily lose any value on it. It can only go up.
Well, house value can go down.
It can go down.
Best believe it. But at the end of the day, I'd rather have my money in a house. That's my vehicle of investing, right? Every person's vehicle is different. Some people stock, some people whatever. But my vehicle of investing is houses. Why? Because it makes sense. It works. You got a roof. And what goes down must go up. If your stock go down, you know what? A company bankrupt, go out of business. If your house go down, just keep living, buddy. Just keep living.
Eventually it'll go back up.
It might not go back up till you're 65. But at least your kids will be enjoy. Somebody will be able to enjoy it.
Yeah.
You may not be able to enjoy the money at that point, but it will go up at some point.
So as far as strategies, I mean, is it exclusively flips, or you do any buy and hold, or?
I got buy and hold. I got a portfolio, probably like 16 doors. Yeah, about 16 doors, and but I buy and hold, fix and flipping. This is a flipping market, though.
Oh.
For me, it's a flipping market. Like, this is a market to flip versus buy and hold. When I buy and hold, I like to buy low and keep it. I don't like to buy high and keep it because I got a lot of debt on my head, right?
Yeah.
So that's just the way I think, right? Buy low, pay it cash, keep it. Done. I don't think about it again. Pay my little taxes, keep it moving, right? But buy high, sell fast.
Yeah.
Buy low, keep long. Buy high, sell fast.
Okay.
That's kind of. If I buy high, I'm trying to get rid of it. I need my money back. Right?
Okay.
Yes.
So if your extensive, experience in real estate, if you could tell your, as far as you being accomplished, if you could tell your younger self anything that would have caused you less dramas or pain and stress, what would you tell them?
Man, keep your relationship with your woman good, because that's the key. The key is having a good relationship with your woman at all times. No arguing, no fighting, keep that tight. Keep that tight, keep that right at all given times. No exceptions, no excuses, no nothing. Keep that tight. Because a woman can be the reason why everything intact, and they can be the same reason why everything falls apart. And it's not the blaming on the woman, because it's not the woman's fault. It's your fault. But if you don't have your relationships right, then your head is not going to be in the game. So if you're going to have a woman, make sure that relationship is on point at all times. Because it's not about how good the deal is. It's about how much your head is in the deal. And if your head is all over the place because you got all kind of personal stuff going on, you ain't even going to realize the deal. You might have $1 million on the table right now. And you around here, you looking at it like it's 50 Cent. Not the rapper. You understand? And you around here, and you got this right there on the table. Come on, man. But that's the way it goes. So you gotta have your personal life together. Point blank period. Woman, man, whatever the case may be.
Yeah.
Whatever, however you get down, however you move, you need to have that together. That's my advice.
How can they find you, Darren?
You can find me myself.
Okay.
All right. Feel free to shoot me a text message. Text better.
Okay.
904-330-6070.
Okay.
All right. Email dg@cleared, then the number 4 closing.com.
Okay.
Website www.thegardnerempire.com.
Okay. All right.
All right. And we're readily available. We're ready to make moves. We're ready to teach you guys whatever it is you need to know. Just gotta, be a good follower, and then a good follower, you'll be a good leader for someone else and lead them up. You never know. I may call you.
Well, with that being the case, man, we're about to get out of here. My name is Aaron, with my host
JP3,
and with my guest
Darren Gardner.
And we're out of here. Later, guys. Peace.
Because right now, this market is so far out of control. If you let it get any further out of control, you won't be able to afford it. I don't know where this market is taking us. But what I do know.
And we'll be right back.
What?
What just happened?
I have no idea.
I was waiting for what you were about to finish with, and I was like, God damn, this is gonna be a good quote.
And he cut me off. He said, "We'll be right back." What I
And
do
we'll be
know-
right back.
What?
What?
What just happened?
I have no idea. Yeah, why you spiking straight with that?
I don't know.
What
I'm
you
supposed to
did
put
to say?
No.
I was waiting for what you were about to finish with, and I was like, God damn, this is gonna be a good quote.
And he cut me off. He said, "We'll be right back."